If you look up Kigali, almost every video calls it Africa's cleanest and safest city. And while I found that to be 100% true,
Welcome to Kigali.
I wanted to go a layer deeper. What I discovered completely floored me. And honestly, Rwanda has become one of my favorite countries in the world and one I'm very eager to return to. I first arrived in Kigali, which is Rwanda's capital city, on a direct flight from Cairo, Egypt. It's a route that currently operates 3 times per week. It takes about 5 hours of flight time. Having just checked off the top item in my bucket list, which was the pyramids of Giza, it didn't disappoint. But I wasn't quite sure what to expect in Rwanda, which is my first experience in sub-Saharan Africa. My flight landed around 2:40 a.m. and fortunately my hotel, the mall, had a complimentary shuttle waiting for me at the airport. I slipped the driver a $5 tip. For my stay, I chose the Nyatarama neighborhood, and forgive my pronunciation, I'm sure that is wrong, thanks to the recommendations from Willy Fungo's YouTube videos. And it turned out to be a quiet, peaceful, and very safe area, though in truth, most of Kigali feels that way. And the best of all, it was within walking distance to some of my favorite activities in the city, which I'll cover in just a second. But the very first thing that hits most visitors in Kigali is just how clean and safe it feels. And that was my reaction too. It's kind of a detail that immediately stands out. Now for comparison, I also went to go visit Kampala, Uganda, which to me felt like the polar opposite of Kigali. It was wild and chaotic and a lot of fun in its own way. But Kigali, by contrast, is laid back, it's orderly, and has a unique atmosphere. Like you're surrounded by nature even when you're still in the city. On a deeper level, I got the sense that Kigali is on the verge of becoming something big. There's visible development everywhere, new buildings, new condominiums being built, there's fresh construction projects, and a growing buzz around the city that makes it feel like it's about to explode onto the global stage. By the way, one of my favorite things about doing this channel is interacting with you guys in the comment section. So let me know, have you ever visited Rwanda? Or if you haven't, are you considering visiting Rwanda? Let me know in the comments. So my favorite spots around the city, I chose to stay in the Nyatarama area because it was within walking distance of several places I really wanted to explore. Now, keep in mind, I enjoy walking, so my idea of walking distance may not be the same for everybody else. But walking is one of my favorite hobbies, and it's a cheap and free hobby to go out and explore the city. Now Kigali is also built on quite a few hills, so every walk kind of doubles as a leg workout. But my favorite spots were, number one, the Kigali running track. And as someone who loves to exercise, this quickly became my go-to spot. It's one of the most beautiful, well-maintained running tracks I've ever seen, with a pleasant climate and a view overlooking the golf course and driving range. I found myself running there and exercising almost every day. Number two, the tennis clubs. I'm big into tennis. I bring my tennis racket most of the time when I go somewhere. So I made it a big point to integrate into Kigali's tennis community. And the players were very welcoming and friendly. I got a chance to meet some great people. The Nyatarama Sports Center was nice, but the standout to me was Cercle Sportif de Kigali, which had the largest facilities, including multiple courts, swimming pools, and other sport options. Number three, I like Kigali Heights Mall, and specifically there's a restaurant there called the Java House, which if you're looking for good food, quality restaurant, some Western food, or even coffee or a place to work, the Java House at Kigali Heights Mall is a solid pick. It's also an excellent spot for a casual first date. It's relaxed, modern, and easy to get to. Number four, Rumera nightlife. Now, I'm not big into nightlife, but I did walk through that area. And if nightlife is your thing, Rumera is where you'll find the best opportunities to mingle, to have a few drinks or dance. Rwandan women love to dance, and the energy there is very lively. And yes, the Rwandan women you'll meet are every bit as stunning as people say. And for a food recommendation, I like the Kana Kazana. It was highly recommended to me as the best Indian food in Kigali, and it did not disappoint. It just happens to be right there, a 2-minute walk from my hotel, the Mall. And this restaurant serves some of the best Indian food I've had anywhere in the world. A must visit for food lovers. For pros and cons, let's start with the pros. God's weather. Kigali's climate reminded me a lot of Medellin, Colombia, if you've ever been there. the famous city. It's called the City of Eternal Spring, Medellin. And Kigali has that same type of weather. Because the city sits about a mile in elevation, the days are pleasantly warm and the nights are comfortably cool. Another pro, the people. Man, Rwanda struck me as incredibly kind and respectful and thoughtful, and it brought back memories of the warm hospitality that I experienced in countries like the Philippines and Vietnam. And then the obvious one, the cleanliness and safety. You know, in Nyaturama especially, there was almost no begging. The police were approachable and they gave a sense that they truly have your back. And the streets were absolutely spotless, zero litter in Kigali. And it's probably just the cleanest city I've ever visited, not just in Africa, but anywhere in the world. And for cons here, maybe limited attractions. That's my main question I would be asking myself if I was staying in Kigali long term is, what can you actually do there? I mean, would I end up getting bored? And that's something, let me know in the comment section, you know, if I'm missing something there, because I didn't get to explore everything. But, you know, the city is really beautiful and peaceful. A lot of people recommended going on a gorilla trek, but it's quite pricey. You know, a one-night trip to do the gorillas was well over $1,000 from what I saw, which isn't realistic for a lot of travelers to spend that kind of money on just a 1 or 2 day trip. And the second con, I would say mall culture. You know, personally, I've become a bit of a mall guy throughout my travels. I kind of rely on the shopping malls because out of convenience and restaurants and coffee and grocery stores. I love the massive shopping centers that you find all across Asia and a lot of times in Latin America, where you can eat cheaply and do some people watching and just kind of spend hours exploring. Now, Kigali does have the Kigali Heights Mall, and it is modern and it's gorgeous, but to me it was quite small compared to what you find in other areas in the world. My departure from Kigali ended up being the most hectic and honestly the least safe part of my trip. I decided to take a night bus directly from Kigali to Kampala, Uganda, and locals assured me that it was just a really great option, the night bus, but in reality I found it to be quite rough. I didn't sleep a single minute on the night ride, and if you're a Westerner like me, the next time I'd recommend flying. And with that said, it was all part of the adventure and it set me up for my next stop, so stay tuned for an upcoming video about my experiences in Kampala, Uganda. If you've ever been to Rwanda, I'd love to know what your experience was like.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.